Well, good evening, everybody. I'm 1 minute early. Hope everything's going well. Said hi to a few of you in the chat. Hey, Jim Tedesco. I've got my camera focused in on the scenery I've been working on. And I'm going to continue to do some of that tonight. Hi, Dan. Thanks, Mike. Hey, John, how's it going? Awesome Bayou, how you doing? John Benicki, how's it going? Martin, how you doing? I miss you. Kyle, how you doing? Trying to see about my air conditioning. I think my air conditioning has been killed. I think this summer killed it. I might have to go get a new air conditioner. I'm going to bring Wilmer up here in a minute. Wilmer's going to be able to watch the chat while I do some scenery. Oh, Wigwag's gone to get pizza. Let's see if we can put Wilmer up here. There he is.
Yeah.
You're not in the basement anymore.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of lonesome down there. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Kyle, it has, and I really think it's messed up my air conditioner.
What has?
This summer.
Because you worked it too hard.
Yep. I mean, my room's not even cool now, and it was only 85 here today. And
yeah, warmer than it was here. I don't think it hit 60 today.
ooh.
Yeah, right now. It's like just not much above 50 outside right now. And it's supposed to go into the 40s tonight. That furnace might kick on.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're only going to get down to about 50 tonight. So.
Hi, at Trackside Mike, John Arthur. I see. Artie. John Schoolkill. Howdy. Martin Searsma. John Benacki. Why? Joe Raider. Kyle, how you doing? Kyle Stevens.
Too bad we got to have two cameras now. I'm not sitting behind you tonight, so.
No. So you decided not to bring out the bridge, huh?
No, I tell you. Wilmer said he was going to get on to me about the bridge.
Do you think I was lying to you?
So here's what he's talking about. I'm going to move my camera up now.
I'm going to say hi to Rusty and
hey, Rusty. And Heath is here.
Yeah, and Heath and Jim Tedesco.
So, see, I bought one of those Central Valley bridges. And I am just having the hardest time getting motivated to even start it. It just, when I open the box, it looks like such a daunting task that I don't even want to do it.
You're just intimidated.
Everybody
gets a project sooner or later that they're real hesitant about doing because they're afraid that they'll mess it up or they'll do this and that. And I'm telling you, once you start on it, you'll be fine.
You know what I'm more afraid of? Okay. I'm afraid it's going to take up about 2 years of my life.
Oh! I built a station for you out of scratch from pictures. Okay? Just from pictures. I had nothing. Okay? And it took 5 months. And I took my time.
I know, but that was easier. Get that camera set up here. Come on, camera.
Right. He says it. I saw Flying Crow paint a KCS locomotive. If he can do that, he can do this. I agree 100%.
Like I said, it isn't going to take 2 or 3 years.
He painted those engines for the bicentennial KCSs. So was all them multi-colors, and he did it with accuracy. And he's worried about putting together a kit. I can't.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, well, I can't believe it.
Wilmer's not going to let me go.
No. You opened the Kraken. You released the Kraken. He's loose.
Release the Kraken. I tell you, that is a daunting kit. It looks like it's going to take me 3 years to build.
If he lived closer already, I would. I'd go. I would show him how to start.
So what I'm going to do tonight instead, because I don't want to embarrass myself that badly.
You're not embarrassing yourself.
Is I'm going to do some scenery, mostly ballasting, I think. But
that's right, John. John Arthur says, "Good for me. Got to hold friends accountable around here."
Yeah, that's right. No, it won't take me that long. I don't know. I looked at that thing, and then it wants you to set up straight edges and clamps and all kinds of stuff.
There you go, Kyle. He says, Robert, my first Pointer Rocks building took him about 6 months in total, on and off, and you can build a bridge.
See?
But that building, you haven't seen that building. If you know what he's talking about, that Pointer Rocks building, it's huge. I've seen it.
I've got to look at that. I thought
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go look at that, Kyle.
Right.
Just start it. Yeah.
as I said before, Dave Thurber has that same bridge on his layout over top that beautiful river he made. Didn't take him 2 years. That's right, John. Just start it. Then you'll be off and running.
Well, I did do the first step, believe it or not. It said to go through all the sprues and clean off the flash, and I did do that. And the more flash I cleaned, the worse my brain got.
Oh.
Let's see, Tim's, how you doing? Hey, Dwayne. Tim says he bought a magazine with an article on the 70s and 80s era of KCS. Yep, very familiar to what I have. Absolutely.
How you doing, Dwayne's Fork and Spoon?
I don't know if Dwayne's really watching or if he has Gus watching. Which is it?
All righty. Well,
so
you can put the camera back down on where you're working.
Yeah, I'm going to move it. Move it over here because I'm going to be working this area right here. And I don't know if I'm going to get a lot done tonight, but so
if I haven't said so, that's looking good.
What's that?
If I haven't already told you, that is looking good.
Why? Thank you. Thank you.
Your scenery. It'll be really great when it connects to that bridge that you're going to build. He's going to throw me out of here before it's
I am. I'm not going to only relegate him to the basement. I'm going to block him from my channel.
He's going to send me downstairs.
Yep. So
it is looking good. It is looking good. Dwayne says it's looking good.
Ah, that's great. So looking at this, now, if you've seen pictures, well, you maybe haven't seen pictures of the yard down in Alexandria. The track was in dirt. I mean, it was just, that was the ballast. It was mashed down into the dirt. So, there was some evidence of ballast being there at one time, but so I'm trying to go for that look, especially as I get further down into the yard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some real fine ballast that I have, and I'm mixing it with not only dirt, but with grout as well. So,
hi, Sparky and Chazco.
Hey, Chazco. Hey, Sparky. So,
sorry to interrupt you.
Let's see what I got here.
You might want to make your screen bigger and just put me down as a little screen, or
make Wilmer the little one, huh?
Either that or make me disappear altogether, and I'll just talk.
How's that?
That's good. That way we can see what you're doing without getting out the magnifying glass and take your in scale.
Let me move that up just a little bit more.
Man Shed Railroad, Aaron, how you doing?
All right, so I've got some grout and I've sifted it already. So when you get grout, you're probably going to have to sift it if you use it. So I'm going to spread a little bit.
So that's what you're using for ballast is grout?
Grout, and I do have some number 50 ballast that I got from Scenic Express.
All right.
I'm going to spread that around.
Now, is there any particular color or grout that you use?
Huh?
Is there any particular color or grout that you use?
This is called Haystack.
Haystack.
Yeah, let me see.
Haystack Calhoun. I'm
I
showing my age.
got that from Home Depot. And even though I sifted it, it's probably been sitting in the thing too long. So I do see some lumps. And you can tell I'm just spreading it with my finger a little bit.
You know, you can click the solo button and you'll be just the only one on the screen there, and it'll make it even screen bigger.
Is that what you want?
And you can still hear me, see? No, the solo. Hit the solo.
Oh, I'm hitting the solo. There it is.
Yeah, how about that?
And hang on one second. I meant to get my.
Now we can really see.
Aha! Where'd I do my paintbrush?
Lynn McCurdy, how you doing tonight? Dan's Model Railroading. How you doing, Dan? Use gray grout for roads. That's what Dan says.
So this is just a base, and I just kind of come along with a paintbrush. The good thing about grout is if you wet it, it hardens, so you don't. But I'm going to be mixing some ballast and some dirt in here as well. So I'm going to need some glue. So if anybody has a question, Wilmer will let me know.
He says he said we should share grout colors because he has a huge bag of that, and he only ever uses a tiny little amount because he does tiny little trains.
That's right. I'm only going to work it up to this switch here. And I've got the underneath the cork painted gray, so if stuff does show through, it's not going to be a stark difference. Now I'm going to mix in a little dirt, because the grout will, when it dries, it'll be the same color, but the dirt will actually darken.
He says, note about wetting the grout. It will only be wet on the top layer and make a hard crust and won't wet all the way down through.
Well, it should, if you use wet water, it should seep through a little bit, hopefully.
What if you just sprayed it good with alcohol first? That usually helps.
Well, that's what wet water has, alcohol and dish soap in it. So.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to sprinkle a little dirt, and I'm just using, this is just dirt I got off of a construction site. So. It's not going to be.
So what makes the dirt from the construction site different than the dirt in your backyard?
What's that?
What makes the dirt from the construction site different than the dirt from your backyard?
There's just more of it.
I like like that. Good answer.
So this is just a little bit. And this 3-inch brush I'm using, it's a cheapie. It's $1 something. And I'm just using it to smooth things out is all I'm doing. Like I said, it'll be a little bit darker than the grout. Now, one thing, if you live in an area like I am modeling, this is red dirt. And I'm just going to mix in a little bit of it here.
Did you get that from the construction site too?
I did indeed.
Oh. I think he said it was just easier access. That's why he got it from the construction site.
Yeah, there's more of it. I mean,
he didn't want a hole in his yard.
Piles of dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, he just didn't want a hole in his yard, Sparky.
Yeah. I didn't want to dig my yard up, so.
CP368 says his yard don't have any dirt. It's all gravel covered with grass.
See if I just push it in, it kind of blends in, and that's what I want. I don't want a stark difference in colors. I want different colors, but I don't want it to be so stark that it goes, oh, there's a big patch of dirt there. And now, this is my number 50 ballast that I ordered from Scenic Express a while back.
Artie says, depending on the layer of the dirt, the bottom layer is normally lighter in color and almost like clay.
Yeah.
And so he uses real dirt all the time.
Nothing replicates dirt like dirt, right?
Yeah, and it's good when you have the dirt on somebody there. Never dreamed we were going to be talking dirt tonight.
That's right. And all you do is you scoop it up and put it in a jug, and if you need to, go bake it in the oven if you can get away with it, if your wife will let you. Baking it in the oven just kills if there's any microorganisms or bugs in it or whatever, Yeah.
How do you know that you got all the microorganisms or not?
Like I said, that's just
Lynn McCurdy says he's with you. He gets all his dirt from the local construction site.
What's that?
Lynn McCurdy says he gets all his dirt from the local construction site. He's with you.
Yeah. There's just so much of it at a construction site. Yeah. So,
okay. I got my sand from the railroad tracks.
Yeah, there you go.
That came
anywhere
out.
You can get it.
Yeah, you saw the sand, Robert. How fine it is, and it didn't take hardly anything to sieve it, And I like the color of it. It worked out really good. Jim Tedesco says you probably get arrested being on a construction site.
Go on a Sunday when they're not working.
Hi, Roy, Container Man 68.
Hey, Roy, how's it going?
Is that a special brush for ballasting? He said. He must
Nope.
not have heard you say you got it from the dollar store.
Just a Chinese paintbrush, a 3-inch paintbrush.
Chinese is the specialty which you got to have there, Heath. Can't be American. It'd be too good of a brush.
That's right. Now I had a problem when I did this track. Here is it's higher on one side. So what I'm doing is I'm shoving. I put some plastic underneath it to shore it up a little bit, but I'm also shoving some dirt under it to keep it level.
Chasco says, to
Huh?
find out if you killed the organisms, you should eat some of that dirt and see if you get sick or not.
Oh, is that how you do it?
And CP368 says, the sand that I got is probably poisonous.
It could be.
Could be. Rusty wants to know if that's a left-handed or a right-handed brush.
Oh, it's a right-handed brush. The left-handed brushes are just a lot more expensive. So, like I said, you think I'm putting a lot here, but it's just because I want to push it up under this track.
That's the grout there, right?
No, this is actually the dirt.
Man, you guys got light-colored dirt down there.
Yeah, but like I said, it will darken up once it's wet. So,
I mean, I go out in my backyard, if I got dirt, it's black.
yeah.
I mean, literally, it really is. It's black.
You
Or
got
a very
good
dark
topsoil up there.
Huh?
You got good topsoil up there. Get a little bit of that grout put in there with it.
He explained why he put so much in there, Heath.
Huh?
Heath says it looks like you're putting a lot in there.
Well, yeah, that was because I don't know if you heard, Heath. This side of the track was lower when I cut the cork. Because this track starts downhill before this one does. So I ended up getting it a little bit low here. It's not on the same piece of cork. So what I'm doing is I put plastic under there, just some plastic strips, 80 thousandths to shore it up. But I'm pushing some dirt and ballast under here too to make sure it stays level. And that's why I'm doing that.
CP368, the sand that I'm getting isn't from the locomotives. It's sand that they haul to the fracking sites around here. It's fracking sand.
But it looks pretty similar to the sand that they use in the locomotives too.
I mean, Robert can tell you he's seen it wherever they park the hoppers at. There's always a pile under there. It's always off of those hoppers. Big piles. I'm not talking a little from the train.
Push some of that back.
So what you're saying, CP368, is if I sent you some of that sand, I'd have to tag the box as hazmat stuff.
What's that?
Oh, he said that the sand that they put in the locomotives is treated with some kind of chemical, and that you shouldn't use it for personal use because it's
Oh,
not good for you.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. That's nice to know. If I start growing a
No,
third
and
ear or something.
Heath, I do not ballast around my switch points. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, Cal. I don't live far from West Virginia, and our dirt here is very dark. It isn't that looks like sand to me.
I know, but it is dirt. It's real fine powdery sand or dirt. It's not like sand where you can feel it.
Highway
All right.
cross trains and surrounding area trains. How you doing?
Like I said, I'm going to get a little bit of this red dirt in here, this red clay that gets ground up.
Lynn McCurdy says he uses playground sand. You couldn't glue it like regular ballast.
What's that about regular ballast?
Okay, let me go back and get it here. I wanted to mention something else too. Oh, man, that really went. Where's it at?
I just got, like I said, I got to make sure. I would love to be able to, completely cover my ties, but I'm not going to because, unfortunately, that you got to do some things in the model railroad world that aren't prototypical.
Lynn says he uses playground sand. You couldn't glue it like regular ballast, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've never tried playground sand.
me neither. That's some. Wigbag says that the sand's known to cause cancer in California.
I think everything causes cancer in California.
I knew you'd say that.
All right. So I'm going to build some grout up here too. I've got a hard edge there that I need to, and the grout won't stay completely, but what will happen is I'll put some bushes over this hard edge.
Martin Searsma says he's afraid to ballast around the switch points.
No, there's no reason to. I mean, it's I just leave them unballasted because they get glued, and then you have to worry about trying to clean them up and all that kind of stuff. So it's just not worth it.
No. You're just all kind of good news here. CP368. Silica sand. Where did we put it?
Yeah, and that's the same
what
thing
is
as
used
sanded
in
grout.
fracking is an inhalation hazard.
Yeah, sanded grout has silica sand in it.
Yeah. Well, my lungs are already messed up, buddy. I don't think I can hurt it anymore. And it ain't like I'm sitting there and snorting it or anything.
All right, let's see. I think I want a little more gray ballast over here because it's not, between the ties is not completely filled.
Frac sand is linked to lung disease. So is 43 years of smoking Marlboros.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lynn said his wife was a school teacher and she gave him bags of playground sand. He said it wouldn't glue down. He said he couldn't get it to glue down like ballast.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of sand it is, if that's beach sand or what.
Heath wants to know if you're going to pull the track nails out once you glue down the ballast.
Yes, absolutely. I do that. No reason to have them in there once you ballasted it.
I agree, Artie. He said, did anyone tell those in California that the sun was the biggest creator of cancer? Roy Hardwick, he says, just being in California causes cancer. Thank you, Sparky. 2519, Sparky says. Got 25 people in here and 19 likes.
Only 25?
That's what he said. That's what
I
he
thought
said.
I'd have 100 people in here.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. I think I heard that somewhere else before.
So next time I do a live stream, each person has to bring 2 other people in.
Artie wants to know, can anyone tell with Atlas Code 100 large curve turnouts, are they live frogs or insulated? I'd say they're insulated.
Oh, on Code 100, I don't think they make anything but insulated frogs.
Yeah, I would say that, Artie.
Now, I'm going to kind of go along my rail here. So I don't want to.
These guys, everybody's a comedian tonight. Big Bag says, so you're telling me I shouldn't be eating those little white packs that are in with the beef jerky bags? I think that falls in the same category as Tide Pods.
Yeah.
How old are you, Wigwag? Seems like the younger generation's the ones who go for that kind of stuff.
All right.
Heath wants to know, are you using a photo to match the colors that you're putting down?
No, I just, well, in my mind, I have seen photos, and so that's what I'm doing. It is prototypical. Now, there's a lot of other things involved too, and I'll probably do this once I finish and it's all dry. Especially around where the locomotives were fueled, you'll see a lot of black laying around on the dirt and the track, um, and I'll probably get my airbrush out and do that. Airbrush some black. Let's see. So at this stage, get it as clean as you can. If you're doing regular ballast, you want to take something and tap the rails, and that'll the ballast will sink into the track, under the track. With dirt, that doesn't work so well. But yeah, you want to do some light tapping on the rails when you're using when you're using ballast. So it'll make it settle.
Roy says we're not watching paint dry tonight. I'm just going to say one thing. Just, Roy, stick around. You'll get to see some glue dry.
You won't watch paint dry, but you will watch ballast dry.
Yeah. The glue. The glue. The glue. Wigwag says he's an old fart.
What?
Oh, I said about it earlier how old was Wigwag. He says he's an old fart. You're old enough to know better than to eat them little white bags.
Now, if you can avoid it, try not to touch it with your fingers. Use the paintbrush. Does a better job on smoothing things out. The edge is a little sharp along here, but what I'm going to do is, I think maybe I'll put a little more ballast along there just to build it up and to give it a little variation in color.
Yeah, I'm with you, Artie. He says he hates doing the next part where you're going to be putting down the glue.
What's that?
Artie, he says he hates the next part where you're putting down the glue.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never seems to. It don't look right when I'm putting the glue down, but after it dries, it. Especially the ballast.
I think I'll go up a little bit further with that.
I know the stuff you already have down, it looks like a total different color into what you're putting down there.
Oh, I know. But it ain't.
But it will change when you get it all wet and everything, I guess.
Yeah. Huh? And that's what I say, the dirt will become darker, but the grout stays about the same color. And you got to remember in yards too, especially back in the 60s, the 70s, they would come along and maybe patch with some ballast, put some ballast in where there wasn't any, that kind of stuff. The ballast gets all ground up and the tracks get, from all the weight that stays on them, they get pushed down into the dirt. And it's not the same as a main line.
Artie says he puts his glue down first. And he said all this work ends up a mess.
You can definitely do that.
Manshed says he's got it run, but he said it's looking great, Robert.
Thank you, Manshed. Appreciate it. The other thing is you've got to realize you will have to do some touch-ups. You're not going to get it exactly perfect the first time. And you'll have big areas that are fine, but you'll always need to do some touch-up. At least I will. If anybody out there can put down ballast and never have to do any touch-ups, let me know how you do it.
Well, it depends on how picky you are, I guess.
Now, I think I'm ready. It has that look of being kind of buried in the ground. The dirt is over.
Did you put
outside ties, that kind of stuff.
Did you put a thin layer of Vaseline or something on the rails so you won't spend?
I don't have to worry about that ballasting really.
Really?
Painting.
You don't think you have to worry about that ballasting either?
No, I never do that for ballasting.
No.
I do. Well, I'll go back over it with a bright boy when everything dries, but it'll be fine. All right. This is kind of how I want it to look. So my wet water first. Now, when I do this, my wet water, I'm going to start spraying it from about 3 feet above. Because if I get it right down on there, once I spritz it, it'll blow everything away. So I just have to let the water first settle onto the dirt. Something here. And then once you get the water settled onto the dirt, then you can get closer. I am, like I said, I'm about probably 2.5 feet above the layout spraying right now. And you can see the mist falling on it, I think. Once it starts getting wet, then you can get a little bit closer. And you can tell by looking at it when it's wet, it'll turn darker.
Hi, Split Rock, Thomas.
What's that?
Thomas from Split Rock.
What did he say?
He said, "Good evening."
Oh, well, hi, Tom. How you doing? Okay, so I sprayed everything from up high and got it wet, and that holds it down. And now I can start getting closer in.
He wants to know if we're watching glue dry. Not yet.
Not yet, but we will.
Real Artist says hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? All right, so you want to get it soaked really well. If you don't, the glue's just going to sit on top. See, I've almost made it like a mud now. And you might want to consider just doing small areas at one time.
You're spraying it now with the glue, right?
No.
Oh, you're still putting alcohol on it.
Yep.
Or wet water, you call it.
I want to make sure it's thoroughly soaked with wet water. Now, I have got some thin glue, but you got to be careful with it. You have to be real careful with it.
So what you're telling me is it's a little bit wetter than 50-50.
Yep.
You're more like
So I
25.
want you to see the glue that I'm putting down. Ah,
Well, we could if you
sorry.
left the camera alone.
So watch it. And the glue is it's about 45% Elmer's glue, and that same wet water is what I use to dilute the glue with. But you see how it's just soaking in?
So you're telling me you diluted the glue with alcohol and
And
a drop
dish
or
soap.
two of dish soap.
Yep. And unfortunately, you can't do this fast, especially when you're using dirt. You have to do it slow and do it in drops. If you try to just make a stream of glue, you're gonna have little streams in your dirt.
Hi, Anthony from Georgia Sunbelt.
Hey, Anthony. And if you see the glue is not just soaking in, just stop and spray some more wet water on it. This is very tedious, but to get it to look right, this is how you have to do it.
Sparky says, don't the alcohol make the glue so slimy and clogs up the glue bottle?
No.
No. He says no, Sparky.
It's about, so my wet water is about 75% water and 25% alcohol with just a couple drops of dish soap in it.
See you later, Cal.
See ya. And another thing I will caution you is don't play with this while it's drying. If you play with it, you're going to just make a mess. Wait till it dries and then fix any problems.
Sparky says it gets slimy every time he tries to mix it that way.
Sparky, you can't get slimy.
I when I mix 50-50, I put 50 water and 50 glue. It seems to work fine for me.
You know, with ballast, that's fine. With dirt, you have to be a little more careful. Dirt tends to want to move around when you put it on there.
No, I ain't using Scotch or vodka. I think it's Rite Aid brand.
What's that?
Artie was saying about maybe you're using good Scotch or vodka. And I said, no, it's Rite Aid brand.
No, I used denatured alcohol.
Yeah.
Just like I use making my airbrush thinner for acrylic paints.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sparky. We're not going to be watching glue dry tonight.
No, we're not.
That'd be a really long show.
It would be.
Thomas. He said Sparky must be using that Canadian water. That's what makes it slimy. Oh, that's awful. Now
Right.
everybody picks.
So I can see my glue isn't spreading out as easily. So I'm just going to come here and spritz it with some more wet water.
Jasco said Sparky shouldn't use the water that comes in those blue cans. Thomas.
All right, who's making?
Oh, I just read some of these comments. Thomas said, "Glue giant versus Heath opening a box."
Which is more exciting?
Right.
Oops.
John Beck, he says the glue would dry first. Hi, Ken. Ken Amos Jr.
Hey, Ken. Yeah, now, unfortunately, this is just a tedious task, and it's got to be done this way. If you don't, like I said, you're going to get what looks like little grooves running all through your, like a snake crawled through your dirt. But that's just the way it goes sometimes in model railroading. While I'm doing this, I was going to talk to you about my grass. So when I put the grass down, I've got a color that I use the most of, and then I've got a couple other colors mixed in. But after it dries, I actually come along with an airbrush and paint the top of it. So you know how when grass gets long, it starts to turn brown or grayish brown. And especially this time of year, it starts to do that too. So that's what I did with the grass. I just airbrushed, and I was careful to try to spray it just on the top of the fibers, and not not get it down into the whole thing.
Let's see here. I had some things that some people
And you can use either enamel or acrylic paint. It doesn't matter. I used enamel because I happen to have it. So.
Dwight Curley says hi to Flying Crow.
Hi, Dwight.
And Sparky says many prints make snakes that you can put along the tracks there.
Yeah. No, I don't want any snakes on my track.
Well, it'd be prototypical.
Yeah, for this part of the world.
It happens up this part of the world too, buddy. Especially get up in the mountains. That's where you see the rattlesnakes, timber rattlers. They love to get out there on the tracks and sun themselves.
Well, I guess especially this time of year when it's getting cooler. Wow, I'm going to finish this up.
Have a good evening there, Trackside Mike.
And see you, Trackside.
Yeah, he said it was a good show.
Thanks. And so I'm just gonna do this right here. And I'm gonna leave it at this, and I'm for our show, I'm gonna stop right here, and then I'll go ahead and glue the rest. Because it's about that time.
Is it? He sure is.
Believe it or not. And I got one little air bubble.
Look, that glue's almost dry. A lot faster than what heat is at opening up boxes. Oh, them guys are nuts.
Says, am I applying grass for sun or grass for shade? It's just grass. I'm not sure I know what the question is. It's just grass that happens to be in between the tracks.
Artie says he usually soaks the surface with glue mix and then he puts the grass on top so it all dries together.
Soak the surface and then put the grass. Yeah. Well, when I applied my grass, yeah, I did that. I mean, I put the glue down and then put the static grass down.
Roy Hardwick says you need dead armadillos to put all over the place.
That's right. This grass is only to mow. That's all this is for. This grass is just to mow. So, but anyway, I know we didn't get too far, but I got this all down, and I'll come back and.
Thank you, Jim. Jim Tedesco said great job.
But anyway, so that's gluing some ballast down. I guess I'm going to have to say goodbye to everybody.
Oh,
it's that time.
Yep. Good night, all. I'll be next week.
Yeah, make sure you join Wilmer next week. And I really appreciate everybody stopping by and watching the show. And
my topic will be about building bridges.
Go away. Nobody watch Wilmer next week. Boycott him. Good to see everybody. Thank you. And I'm out of here. So y'all have a good evening, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right.
We'll see you.
Everyone.
Take it easy.
God bless.